So before I start, I'm gonna let you know that this video is gonna get really personal, but I feel like this is what we're here for because we want to feel something real, right? So I don't want to waste your time and I want to get straight into it. If you're watching this, I believe maybe you're someone who has dealt with a lot of self-doubt. You're someone who doesn't believe in themselves, and this has led to you having a lot of second guesses in the choices you make. Every time you make a choice, you really doubt whether it's the right one or the wrong one. And you're always the type of person to go to so many friends and family members to try and get them to help you make the choices that you want. But really, you want them to take the responsibility of the choices you make so that way you can blame them if something goes wrong. Um, well, that's how I felt at one point. And the reason I say that, I don't know if about you, but like, have you ever thought why? Like, because for some people, maybe it's because of their upbringing. Maybe it's because when you were a little one in your family, you never got to voice your opinion in certain things. If you like something and someone said, nope, that's not what we want to do, and you try to voice your opinion, whether that thing was right or wrong, they always rejected your views and they went with the way that they wanted to do things. Or maybe you were someone where you realize how your siblings would get their way and you wouldn't. Maybe you're just someone who always were part of a friend group and most of the time, you always got isolated. You always just did what everyone else wanted to do. And every time you decided to make a, not a choice, not an expectation, but a suggestion, like every time you decided to say, hey guys, how about we go and do this instead of that? And everyone would look at you and they will entertain it. They will be like, yeah, we'll think about it. But deep down, the result always became the same. And the same meant that they would always go with someone else's choice. All of these things, you never actually notice how much the people around you affects you subconsciously. The environments around you affects you subconsciously. The things you learn, the things you didn't decide to unlearn, the information you took in, the information you decided to leave behind, and how much it affects you. Like for me, I didn't know how much it affected me, to be honest, until when I was 24 years old, I believe. I had just finished uni. I graduated and I was on the verge for looking for a job. Now, like, you're when you finish education, you're in the real world just looking for a job. It's completely different because there's no more structure. Now it's at a point where you have to be your own motivator. You have to be your own individual that inspires yourself, because you don't have a place where you have to look for information. You have to be the person that goes out there into the world to look for information. And I didn't know exactly how to do that. So I thought, I'm just going to look everywhere. Now, eventually, I went for a recruitment agency. That's a different story. I'm just going to give you the shorthand of it. It took a long time. It took a while. It took a while. Someone really did me dirty through that recruitment agency. I applied for a job. He said, "Oh, we're definitely going to get you into the job." It's like, give me 2 days. And then after the 2 days, I called him, wouldn't answer. The next day, I called him, wouldn't answer. Next day after that, I called him, wouldn't answer my emails. I'll call into the office. They will try and say he's busy. So me being me, the stubborn type, I was like, you know what? I know where the address of the place is. Maybe he's unwell. Maybe someone's not giving me the information I need because obviously I really want this job. I went to the place. The guy was fully healthy. He was in the office smiling, and then he saw me and he tried to avoid me. Obviously, that irritated me, like, because again, I'm in a position where I'm trying to get a job. I'm trying to do something with my life, or at least start it. Um, and that was my first encounter of my trust for organizations, which depleted. But another person there helped me. I got a job working as an administrator with the NHS, which was really cool. Now, during my time with this job, and this will come together at the end of it, like, that process was stuck in my head because in my mind, I was thinking to myself, oh, this is how much kind of hurdles I have to go through to get a job, right? So if I don't go through these type of hurdles, it feels like me getting the job isn't real. So that was just what I was thinking. Or maybe I was like, oh, maybe this is just the norm. Again, I'm new to this, looking for work, wanting to work full time. And what that did to me was it kind of affected my skill set. And I was looking at myself like, wait, does me having a degree actually mean anything? Does me being, I guess, respectful and all of these attributes that you feel like you should be to someone counts as something? Because I felt like, my approach towards asking for assistance with this gentleman was respectful. I did exactly what I was requested of, but things didn't go the way I wanted it. Not necessarily because I didn't get a job, just because he wouldn't want to just communicate with me. So again, that was what I thought. Now, again, background, I grew up in London. Like I grew up on some of the sides of London where, you might have like circles of people that think a certain way, from the prospect of uh, people are not out here to help us. We are alone. We have to do everything ourselves. Um, and it kind of gave me a survival mentality. I'm trying to find a way not to go into too much details, but I don't want to say the street. But I was in the inner city of London, so it comes with certain tough lessons that you learn. So in my mind, again, it was always like, okay, if I live in the inner city of London, I'm here, and everyone else is outside there. It felt like it was that us against them mentality, like not necessarily like a physical thing. It was just that, oh yeah, I finally made it out. I proved myself. I went to uni. I'm not just a quote unquote statistic of a hood rat or something like that, as they may call it. But even with that idea and that thought, there was still some, level of self doubt and self belief, because I had to remind myself. I kept having to feel like for me to achieve something, I had to prove it to whoever's ideology of these people that live in this area feel like about them. So coming back to the story, that was my mindset. So I got the job, finished it. My contract was going to finish, and then I started applying for another job. I don't know how I came across this job, but I think it was a job working with Google. Little did I know that I sent the application. I was like, you know what? It's Google, pay no mind. I was like a brave dude. I was like, I didn't care. It's Google. You never know what's going to happen. Sent the application. And this time, the process wasn't like the first process. I literally got a call the next day from a guy from an agency saying, hey, we saw your CV. We like your CV. We want to give you an interview. Now, I don't know what was happening to me. Maybe because at that time I was making my way to the gym, about to go and do a workout in Oxford Circus, like London Bridge. Not London Bridge, sorry. Oxford Circus, London. So I was like, yeah, cool, pull my CV through. I didn't even know that it didn't register to me that it was Google. I just thought, okay, it's another job. My contract's going to finish. I'm just happy that I got an interview lined up. The interview day came, and not the interview day came. The day I finished my workout, I went home. I looked at the email that I got, and it said, yeah, we've confirmed an interview with Google. I was like, what, as in Google? Like www dot? Like, um, what food do I want to eat at night? Dot Google? Like, not Yahoo, not, you know what I'm saying? Like Google who bought YouTube? Like, I was like kind of shocked, because again, in my mind, I just thought Google was this crazy, big, massive entity. And what would that crazy, big company, massive entity would want to do with someone like me? Do you know what I'm saying? Like someone that grew up in the inner city of London, someone who is an zero immigrant, non-zero immigrant. What's the word? Zero generation immigrant. I think that's how you say it. He's an immigrant who, and of course, bilingual. I know that, I've got my GCSE, got my A levels, but at the same time, I felt like the face of these conglomerates never reflected mine. So that brought up, I don't even know the term anxieties at the time, but that brought up a lot of anxieties. As soon as that happened, doubt, that self-belief, all of those things, all of those survival skills that I had, that I learned before to deal with everything that comes to living in the inner city of London, felt like it was nothing, because I was like, I don't know how to use those skills in this new environment because I felt like the individuals in this environment won't understand how I speak because I come from this place, you know. So in my mind, I was like, how am I going to even approach this? Like even trying to do like interview practices, I was stuttering. I'm talking about Buster Rhymes. You would think I had a lisp. I was like, I asked myself a question. So, what makes you want to apply for a job in this company? I'm talking about, I'm on my own, right? I'm on my own. I'm at home. Like I'm talking to you right now. I'm at home. I'm reading the question on my laptop. So, what makes you want to apply for this job at Google? My mouth, as soon as I open it, it started like, you would have thought a DJ was behind me, like just remixing like that. You know those DJs that's just trying to bring use the what's the disc, the vinyl disc jumps. Is it vinyl? I don't know what you guys call it, but you know what I mean. Just winding up the vinyl disc to bring it in onto another song. I don't even think DJs still use vinyls. God damn. But you get what I'm saying, right? I was starting. It was bad, man. The self doubt. I was doubting myself. Didn't really believe in myself. I really felt like um, I don't know where this feeling came from. I really felt like I didn't even deserve the chance to um, work in this organization. Now, mind you, again, I've got a degree. You know, I've done all the hard work. I mean, a degree that I passed just because I was just like, I'm definitely gonna get. I'm smart enough. You know, I didn't like again, and I didn't doubt myself. Not because I thought the task was difficult when I went uni. I didn't doubt myself because I was on that. I would prove them wrong survival mode. Do you know what I'm saying? That was like my go-to default mode. And if I felt like I didn't have that, I felt lost. Like I didn't, you know, if I didn't feel like I had this us against them mentality, I just felt lost. So when it came to Google, I felt like, or the people that were going to interview me, I felt like, oh, this is no one that may understand me. They won't speak my language. They're just going to look at me and um, I will end up reflecting the stereotype they may have of me. Like this is all of this information is things that I've learned from my environment. You know, all of this information is things where even growing up in an African household, when you come into like a place like London, a big place like the UK, you experience certain things, whether it be from prejudice and so forth, and you always find yourself, whether it be racism as well, and you always find yourself in a position where I have to really outdo. You know, everyone says you have to work twice as hard to get. Like I don't. Yeah, you know, you have to work twice as hard. You have to be this type of version of yourself. You always have to be someone else to prove yourself. So all of these thoughts, all of these ideologies, everything that I learned consciously and subconsciously just came into my head just because of this one interview, right? So that was how my mindset was at. And on the day of the interview, it was a Teams interview. It was actually not a Teams interview. It was a Google interview. Um, they called me on the day. I dressed up for it. Well, really, I only had a shirt and a tie on the top, but on the bottom I had my boxers. You know what I'm saying? So the oxygen was flowing in my, you know, my crown jewels. Crown jewels was getting a lot of oxygen. So now listen, interview starts. It was this dude. He's got the Zinedine Zidane haircut with glasses. You can picture him. Like picture someone that looks like they argue with people on Reddit and uh, just drinks beer and out of martini glasses. Like that's basically, if you can, I'm saying, like, I don't know how else to describe him, but he's got his Zinedine Zidane haircut with the glasses on. Nice smile, good smile. And then I believe there was another lady, brunette, and there was another lady there. So it was like three Caucasian individuals. Um, Listen, this is how much I panic, right? This is how much I panic. The first question they ask, and this is how much self-belief is so important. Like, I have to reiterate, like, why self-belief and, you know, and doubt yourself, like, it's important to kind of like control. The first question they asked me was, so, can you tell us something you know about a company? My brain went from nothing, zero. I was like this. I don't know anything about your company. I used Google this morning to Google to get it. Oh my days. I swear, if this was on live stream, you would just be laughing. You'd probably be like, oh, I feel so bad for him. But at the same time, if I had my close friends there, they'll be looking at me like, yo, this is hilarious. I literally, my mind went blank. That self doubt just started kicking in even more. And they started just asking me questions. And I could see that, the thing about people, right? People always say, like, they're good at hiding their expressions. Not a lot of people are good at that skill. I can see the expressions just leaving the face. He went from smiling at the beginning, maybe they smiled, they were like, ooh, he looks interesting. What ethnic group is he from? I'm saying, like, that's probably what they saw at the beginning. And then, yeah, as they were going throughout the interview, it just went from bad to worse, man. It went from bad to worse. And then at the end of it, they were just like, oh, so have you got any questions for us? Because I remember, like, on the brief, it said if you work with them, um, you can get to work with them in America as well. So they may get you to travel to America to work there for like 2 months or so. Like it was something to do with like social media and no, I think that was not social media, like digital, something digital where I work by teaching people how to do certain digital tools like adults and kids because at the time I also had experience working with like not kids but like 16-year-olds to like 19-year-olds, like youth mentoring, working for like a charity organization, showing how to do certain things to do with media. So that was pretty much the premise of the job. Now, I remember the interview finished. I just got up like in my boxers with my bold crown jewels swingling, thinking to myself, God damn, that was terrible. That was terrible. And then but at the same time, and I started laughing, like, I guess maybe, I don't know about you guys, if this is something like that. I guess in the black community, when something just goes bad, we just laugh at the pain. Like, Kevin Hart's special was like, laugh at my pain or something like that. We just laugh at the pain. But then I had like a moment of reflection and I sat down, and I thought to myself, like, yo, where the hell did I come from? Like, flip, man. I felt so weak. Like the thing is, right? It's and I'm not talking about weak physically. Like I felt so weak mentally. I felt like someone had like control over my life, and in that moment, I couldn't dictate what I wanted to do or what I wanted to say. And like I felt like I was a kid again. Like um, being in like African household, like when I was in Cameroon, and people would just dictate things about me that I didn't want, and I had no say in it. And even if I tried to say something, it would be met with some type of punishment, like, and there was like no value to what I had to bring. And yeah, like I just felt like, what the hell was that? Like, and then I went to that position where I went from that to nah, I'm grown. Like I've overcome too much. Like, I've done this. And then, start telling myself things that I've done, I've achieved. I'm like, how the hell did that happen? Like, and then not understanding where it was coming from because I was irritated at the beginning, I was angry. I was like, where the hell did that come from? I don't like that. I hate that feeling. I wasn't in control. And again, it wasn't even about the control thing. It was more so that I felt like I can feel myself fighting myself, having to change into something else that I wasn't. Not even necessarily because I was just answering the interview question. Even during the interview question, I can feel myself changing the tone of my voice. Like, I know people say code switching is cool. Like, I get it, which is true. You can code switch whenever you want. But it wasn't even that. It was just beyond that, And it was more so the idea of what they represented versus how I saw myself. And that was the part that was important to me, like, because I was like, oh, that wasn't cool. That wasn't nice. It brought me in those places where, again, like I mentioned before, I felt like I didn't have a choice. I didn't know what to say. And the best way I could come out of this situation was go back to that mentality of survival mode. How do I survive out of this? Not how do I thrive, right? Not how do I thrive, and that's the most important part. It was like how do I just survive and get out of this? And even halfway through the interview, I was like, I just want this to finish. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't even care about it anymore. I just want this to finish because um, I definitely don't feel um, in a great space with regards to, and I believe even halfway through it, like I kind of incentivize them to finish. Like, and I'm not someone that's going to be like into be in a place where I don't feel comfortable and then just stay there because it makes someone else happy. Nah, I kind of advise to them like, oh yeah, guys, sorry to let you know, I just do need to have another appointment with a doctor or something. Like I do need to go. And then they'll be like, oh yeah, don't show us, absolutely fine, we understand. One more question and then we'll be finished. So, I gave them a reason to try and make it feel more professional. And again, it was also to blame someone else. And I could have taken responsibility by saying, nah, guys, listen, I can feel like this ain't going well. Maybe we should just end it here. But I didn't do that. And then after that, I remember like just certain behavior patterns. Like, again, the same thing I said at the beginning, sometimes maybe you just want to be someone that's easygoing. Sometimes you can become so easygoing with letting certain people take lead of certain things that you forget how to take lead of certain things. And that's exactly how I felt. Because at one point I was just so easy, like especially even whether it be with friends or um, certain um, goals that I had set myself that included other people's contribution to it. And I became so nonchalant with certain things. And I'm so nonchalant, but in a different way. But that met the way I was nonchalant then was had a negative impact on me because it reinforced those ideologies where, oh, you can't do something by yourself unless um, you feel like someone is against you. But when it comes to contributing to an organization that looks like it's bigger than life because you've probably used it your whole life, oh, now this is the difficult part. Like, and I've dealt with a lot of things, like a lot of situations where that was a lot more dangerous, a lot more um, heart wrenching. And so that part, and that was also one of those things where I was like, oh, this is really affecting me. And this is not the fear of my life at risk. This is not, do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's none of that. It's literally something that's inside me that has taken that worth and that part of me away. And then during my reflection, that's when, like, yeah, I think it was, like I said, 23, 24. That's when um, I told myself, actually, sorry, it was 23, it wasn't 24, it was 23 years old, but same different. But that's when I realized what I had done and the information that I had learned all those times that actually helped me to survive. And then understanding that I don't want to be in a position of the mindset of just survival. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be in the mindset where I have to feel like I have to prove everyone wrong for me to be able to achieve something, or in the mindset that so and so has to be my enemy for me to overcome them. Like, it has to just be from the position where it's what I want to do. I've got the intelligence, I've got the information, I've got the knowledge. Um, I have to remind myself the value of self, why I got accepted, not chosen to be for the interview, but why I got accepted is because of what I can contribute to that place. Why I have these, even when it comes to friendships, why I am part of this group of friends. It's because I have some value to contribute to this. And if my value isn't met or isn't appreciated, I remove myself. Like, it's not a thing where I'm going to be in a place because it has more value to offer to me than I have to it. If it gets to a point where this doesn't benefit me in some ways positive, or the positive doesn't outweigh the negatives, then I'll fully know how to remove myself because I now understand what I mean to it and what it means to me. And yeah, I didn't get the job, of course. Do you know what I'm saying? I didn't get the job, but after understanding that, like after understanding that all the other interviews I went to in the future, or all the other friendship groups that I got into, or and relationships um, that I went in, that more or less worked in my favor. I got the jobs because, again, like the level of confidence and the level of self belief was very, very high. I didn't feel like I needed to leave the responsibility on other people's hand, or on educational body's hand, or parents or family members. I took the responsibility, like, and I understood what it meant when something didn't go well for me. Um, and piece, the best part about that, when something didn't go well for me, I understood that there was always going to be something else. All I have to do is make sure I'm mentally ready and I'm physically ready for it. And there always was. Like, I don't know where it is. It's like when you place yourself in that energy of desire of what you want, something else will always come and replace what the previous thing was. Now, of course, it's not going to be the same, but you don't know what, you can't miss something you've never had. So it's hard for me to now be like, oh man, I wish I had, well, I never had it. So it doesn't mean it's not better than what I have now. And it doesn't mean that what I have now is better than what I missed before. It just means that what I have now is what I was able to achieve because I had the skill set to achieve it. Um, and yeah, plus other things as well. There's a lot more lessons I felt like I gained from that. And again, by understanding the importance of self belief and not doubting myself, I've been able to do a lot more for myself. Even from doing that to starting like a fitness business, like writing workout plans for people, learning how to do social media marketing, like teaching a lot of things myself. Like whenever I go into learning a new skill, I don't now think, oh man, what if I can't? I just think it's just going to take time. That's it. It's just going to take time. And now I've got the tools of patience, and I've got the tools of previous things I've achieved as a confirmation that, oh, I knew I was able to do that. Then I know I'm going to be able to do this, and I know I'm going to be able to do this. So now there's no parts of me that doesn't believe I can't. Any place that I go, I'm supposed to be there because I've got the information, I've got the knowledge, uh, I'm competent, and all of these other things, plus more. I've got more to offer to them. Not necessarily I got more to offer to them that they have to offer to me, but I am going to equally be a contributor to the organization that they are to me. Like even when I create fitness programs for people and they come to me, they don't just come to me because, oh yeah, he's a nice guy. They come to me because they're like, yes, there's value in what he says. He knows what he's talking about. I can see the result in him. So, and I understand that regardless of their background, whether there's someone that's a CEO or whether there's someone that isn't, it's the same thing. The respect is there, the value is given, the exchange of energy and appreciation is there. Um, if you're someone that's dealt with all those self doubts or not believing yourself just because of previous things that's happened in the past, I implore you to just sit back sometimes and reflect the whys. Really, really reflect the whys. Create a chart, maybe in a book, and start writing it backwards. Start from the most recent thing that affected you or your self belief, and start working backwards. Oh, this happened at work, or this happened at home, or this happened. How did it affect me? Okay, it affected me like this. Um, but why did it affect me this way? Why did I look at it this way? And then, oh, I remember when this happened. And then, and as you're working backwards, you're going to be able to see, oh, this is where it stems from. And then now you kind of reprogram yourself and create new patterns to be able to deal with it efficiently. And then you practice those patterns. And just because you started practicing in one day doesn't mean it's gonna work well for you on that day. But as you practice it, you get better and better. And then like anything that you get better, it becomes second nature. And then once it becomes second nature, your body starts to do certain things, or start understanding the new habits that you have. And once it does that, you will see yourself being in a better position, feeling better about yourself, feeling like you are the one, feeling strong. But they, ooh, my muscles look like okay. Oh my day, but yeah, that I hope this video helped. for anyone that's going through whatever they're going through. Um, if anything, as usual, just let me know how you're feeling in the comment section, where your minds are. It's still the beginning of the year, where your minds are. You don't need to feel like you need to rush into things. Like, most of the things, like anything else, when you're learning new information, it takes time to absorb it. And you are going to be in a position where you might reject a new idea because of your old ideologies. For me, like I said before, it was because of the idea of survival. For you, it might be something else. Um, so let me know how things are going for you in the comment section. Or just let me know what country you watched this video from. And I hope you guys are well. Um, I hope you're doing good. I hope you're eating well, and make sure to also work out. And that's very, very important. Like, and I'm going to end this off with this. Make sure to work out, because when you physically feel good and you do certain things, it helps you mentally feel good. And when you mentally feel good, you're in a good space to focus on what you want to learn when it comes to new information. But yeah, I hope you're well and having a good day. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you soon.